pull it up. I'm going to pull it up in the, see if I can see the chat this way. Waiting. I thought we were already on. Oh, the bumps. Bump. Why is this saying it's waiting? Oh, there we go. Go live there. Hello, welcome. Oh, I got to turn down my volume on here. It's a whole thing to get organized. I'm getting the chat up, everybody, so I can see it. Why can't I? Oh, there it is. Okay, hi. I got the chat on the iPad this time. Check us out, learning how to use the technology. Hey, everybody. Nancy, great to see you there. Thanks for jumping on and helping out. Hey, are you gelling? Hello. Farah, crushing on Will. Good to see y'all. Dragon Mad, Glenda Cox, Beverly. Hello, everybody. Not my name. Wow, first notification ever. It worked. Hey, by the way, when you're coming in here, could you guys hit the notification button and check your subscribe button as well? May as well do our chores. Got to do our housekeeping. Hello, everybody. Hey, sweet Elizabeth. We're doing well. I'm doing well. We're both doing well. We had some good downtime yesterday, which needed to happen. I'll get more into the whole day in just a little bit. Mama's Life, thank you so much, and it's great to see you in the chat. Yeah, we're road tripping. I think we're in Wisconsin now, so we're making good time. This time on the way back, we did not do McDonald's. We did Culvers, which is my preferred fast food if I'm going to eat it, which is not often. Don't eat it often. Hey, Neuropsych, hello to you as well. Tina in the last 20, good to see you. Sitting on the defense. Another Natalie, good to see you. Deborah, Florida girl. It's beautiful out. It's actually really nice out. I could almost put a little more like air on.
65 degrees.
It's what? It's 65 degrees? Yeah. Wow. Holy wow. That's amazing.
Holy wow.
I sound so Minnesota.
Holy wow.
Holy wow, don't you know? So let's see. We are, so far so good. It's going by pretty quickly. I think it helps when the weather's really nice. It's so beautiful outside and it's warm.
Yeah, we're making good time.
We're making good time. Hey, Natalie from Toronto. Christy from Nashville. Hey, Meg, I'm glad you're joining us from Washington. And Katie, you're welcome. I definitely would continue. I can't miss a recap. I need it just for my own knowledge and keeping up with what's happening. But yes, it worked out that I was able to keep doing that. Did this morning's. We hit the road not too long after that. And of course, I'll be doing it tomorrow as well. Definitely. Hope you guys all change your clocks with the daylight savings time. Probably figured it out by now. Francesca, great to have you from New York. That's fantastic. Hey, Ann, SPD fan in Cleveland. Great to see you guys here. Like I said, I think we're making pretty good time. It's nice out. I'm hoping that this weather holds when we get back to Minnesota, because oh my gosh, to have it in the 60s is amazing this time of year. Oh, hey, Heidi in Germany. That's so awesome. Nana, good for you to join us from Phoenix. I'm going to assume you're a grandma. Grandmas unite. Grandma power, Nana power. In Hawaiian, it's tutu. Tutu is grandma. Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. Our drive, Mark Johnson, our drive is about, it's about 7 hours door to door, I think, pretty much. and we're well into it. We got a few more hours to go. Yeah, thanks, neuropsych. I'm really not a napper. I'm more of a like I can relax and put my feet up, but I can't nap. And even when I'm doing that, I want to be doing something, making something, something, or you know, not just nothing. But nothing is good. That's like when I'm in a hammock or I'm outside or by a beach. What are our snacks, Anne? Well, today we had some trail mix. Like I said, we stopped at Culvers, which is my favorite fast food. And what did we get? Trail mix, some mini donuts, which weren't great. I'll be honest. They were the Hostess kind. They kind of sucked.
Yeah.
They sucked because I'm still butthurt about my donuts being taken by Scientology.
We really didn't do too much snacking on the way down so far.
Yeah, we haven't done a ton of snacking. The Culvers is bad enough. Gonna have to get back on the healthy eating when we get back. And thank you for the safe travels and the well wishes. You guys are amazing. And I'm glad you're enjoying the road trip. We are. It's actually been pretty cool. So I'll tell you guys this, and then if anybody comes in later, they got to watch this on the replay or hear it from you. I did want to share on the way there. When I was there, I didn't want to get too much into how I was feeling and talking too much about it because honestly, I just needed to keep my stuff together to be able to do the focus on what we were there to do. And it was a mixed bag. I'll be honest with you. On the way there, just make sure you guys are still with me here. On the way there, it was probably okay. So for those of you who were with us on the way there, I think we did like a 3-hour live stream and sing along, which was a ton of fun. And I think it's exactly what I needed to, just kind of be distracted too. But when we were done and we ended the live and we got closer to Chicago and it was raining a ton and there were so many cars and you could feel the car hydroplaning a little bit at times. It just like really set off my anxiety. I wasn't worried about anything. I wasn't like thinking about anything, but I had a full blown panic attack in the car after that. And it's interesting because I haven't had a panic attack in, I don't know what, 10 months or so. And I was thinking like, okay, well, I wasn't feeling nervous about anything, more the driving. It was almost this overstimulation, which that's what sometimes happens um, with my like neurological stuff when it's acting up.
And the hydroplaning was pretty decent.
Yeah,
So in your nervous system and both of ours.
Yeah, my nervous system does not handle like a lot of rain or sudden movements in the car. I got into a car accident about 2 years, no, 1 year, 2 years, a year or two ago. Maybe it's probably been a year and a half now. And I've been extra in the car since then. Then you add to it the whole Scientology thing and all that. And like I said, I wasn't thinking about it. We were just going along. But after I got off with you guys and I wasn't on the stream anymore, it just started building. I don't know if though I don't know if panic attacks happen differently to different people. For me, it kind of builds, and I could feel it building. But I was just trying to focus and be in the moment and relax. And then at one point, Tony asked me how I was doing, and I just lost it. And then I start crying, and I just can't control it. And at one point, so for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when that happens, I have to like shut down my senses as much as I can. So I lean back in the chair, close my eyes, put on the happy music, and I was fine. It continued all the way till we got where we were going and staying, and that evening. But then I slept amazingly that night, so it got better. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but it was so interesting to me because, like I said, I wasn't thinking about something like, oh, I'm so nervous about going to the org or anything like that. I was actually feeling really good about it. it's just so fascinating to me how these things happen.
It really just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like it came out of nowhere. I was, having so much fun with all of you who were on the live with me. And then the next thing I know, just had this, a panic attack, but it just took a while to kind of build. And then, but Tony's fabulous and helped me feel safe and all that. And when we got to where we were, I got to be in kind of a windowless room, which also helps. And then I got it together. So I don't doubt that combination of, even though I wasn't consciously feeling like I was nervous about the whole thing with Scientology, combined with, the drive and the rain and all these other kind of triggers, and then being in the city and the traffic, and it just all kind of came together, and it was just too much. I felt like I was bouncing off the side of my brain and my body. It's the best way I can think to explain it.
Yeah, it was almost, we were coming into Chicago, and we were rerouted, and we had been hydroplaning pretty decently along the way after the live, and we were rerouted off of the interstate, and we kind of had about a 45-minute reroute through certain parts of town, and they were fairly rough, and I think that may have had a little something to do with it too. There was a number of things that really kind of layered on top of some anxieties, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So, what was that, Lori Plays?
Good now.
Yeah, everything's good now. Yeah. Natalie, can you give me 11 seconds of pretending to cry or throw a tantrum? I need it for a donut video. I will, Lori, I will. Do you need me to send it to you, or do you mean like right on the live? That's funny. Yeah, neuropsych. Tony is your safe space. It was building up. Absolutely. And no doubt he's right. I think a lot of it was from the driving in the rain. Like I said, that I got into a pretty bad car accident and totaled my car. And so, sweet koala, you just had a panic attack a couple seconds ago. So happy to see you. Your anxiety is still very high. Well, join us, my friend, and enter the calm zone.
Just start breathing deep and try to distract with us.
Yep.
Let us be a distraction for you.
Exactly. So we get to where we're staying. We had a good evening. And then, I got up and I did my morning live, and I was feeling pretty good. Actually excited about going to the org. And the biggest thing I was excited about was meeting people.
Yeah.
Meeting people who've been protesting.
It really was awesome.
Yeah.
To be able to be with those people and meet them and speak with them. Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, definitely. So we went and we headed over there not long after the live. Well, we had to go visit that one coffee shop that says they're not a cult. That was so fun. And then we went, and then it was just pretty much nonstop people. We got to meet some amazing people who had been protesting, some new people. I spoke with quite a few neighbors, people walking by who, were curious about what we were doing, and were so open to having conversations about it and sharing their own thoughts on Scientology. And that just was amazing. And then being able to actually, do some protesting. And for me, just personally who I am, I'm much more like, along the call your family route. Your doubts are valid. Things that I know would have impacted me. And I thought it went pretty well. It flew by. We had intended to be there like maybe about an hour. Again, mostly because no one who meets me on most days would know that I struggle with these muscle spasms and this neurological issue. Because if I'm sitting, I'm fine. But if I do too much activity, too much activity for me is what's probably just an everyday thing for most people. So it's something that I'm so much better than I was. There was a point where I needed a cane, and I haven't used a cane in over a year. So it is getting better. It's getting better. I'm getting stronger. It's something that's just going to take more time. I'm like about 5 years in.
You're so much better, though.
Yeah, totally. 5 years ago, I couldn't walk at all.
So much better. I can't begin to explain it, really.
Yeah, it was way worse 5 years ago. And I've just been getting better. And it just seems that now I can go out and I can do things more, but I might end up,
Pay the price.
Yeah, exactly. I might pay the price. There might be some muscle spasms in there.
Yeah, there are things we talk about leading up to anything that we need to do that may take some extra energy or
Hmm.
possibly emotional wear and tear. And there's a somewhat of a preparation mentally and physically to try to make sure that we can lessen um, any you know, any effects of that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got our little tips and tricks that we do, and I do a lot at home to actually keep it in check as I continue to get better, because it's my hope that one day it won't even be a thing anymore. We shall see. We
It's
shall
not
see.
gonna be.
Yeah. And it really, for me, some of it's physical activity can be a trigger. Not getting enough sleep is huge, or getting stressed out.
It's a lot of physical stuff, but it doesn't take much physically. When Natalie was holding the gimbal, when we were in front of the org on Saturday, she was maybe holding it for 2 hours,
2.5 hours.
and
Yeah.
and she actually was having spasms under her rib cage on her left side, specifically because she was holding a gimbal. And what does it weigh?
It wasn't even a gimbal. It was a plastic selfie stick,
Yeah.
because I
How
didn't know
much?
how to use the gimbal. It is kind of crazy how that happens. So, but when it happens, and like I said, the day was great. I could tell, we even put like a heated thing on my back. Anywhere that I bend, my joints and stuff will start hurting. So we originally intended to be there maybe an hour, knowing that I would have a limit. And it was just so fun. And it was so great to meet so many people and that energy. And I love talking to people and finding out why they're there, and especially neighbors, what do they think about it? And so I was super into it, but definitely at one point, boom, it like hit me, and I knew like, okay, we got to go, because I could feel my muscles just, I could feel something was coming on there. And so we got out of there.
Yeah, but Natalie still did a rocking job and made it all the way through it, everything. And yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sweet koala. I don't take painkillers. I can take a type of muscle relaxer. I'm supposed to take it like if I do something like I did. Okay, in fact, that's what I did. I have a plan in place from my doctor. If I'm going to be physically active, when I'm done, when I'm where I don't have to drive or something like that, I can take the muscle relaxers, because the spasms are likely going to come, and I'm supposed to not let them happen, because mine are so strong, they break down my muscles on a cellular level. My doctor said, actually, they're strong enough to destroy my muscle.
Aren't they strong enough to pull the muscle from the bone?
I don't know, but it feels like the muscle's being pulled from the bone. Anyway, not to get too gross. So we go back, and I take the medicine right away, because I'm like, okay, I know I want to prevent this from happening. And it still happened in both legs, in my ribs, from my toes up to my hips, with the medicine. So I shudder to think of how bad it would have been if I didn't take it. And then I took another one on top of that. And then it just makes me super tired. But that seemed to do it. And then I slept really well. We did the live, but I knew like I cannot. I could get around, but I needed to like really lay low. So we did. So that's what we did on Sunday. And
Natalie laid on a heating pad.
yeah, I laid on a heating pad most of the day. Did a lot of stretches, drank a lot of water, just all the stuff that tends to help it get better. So did that good stuff, and then it was a lot better. I didn't have any more spasms after that. They were trying to come on Sunday, but they did not, because I was doing what I should be doing. So we were bummed to not be able to go out a second day, but that's how it goes, and that's how it will probably go. And there's some things, it's like, certain activities I might avoid because I don't want to deal with it, the muscle spasms, but there's things sometimes I really want to do it. And if I don't do it because I'm afraid that, the muscle spasms are going to come, then I won't do anything fun. And some things are just worth doing, either for the joy that it brings you, or for, like in this case, which protesting Scientology brought me a lot of joy. It's also something that's important. And I don't doubt that. I think the panic attack, everything together, being back at Scientology for the first time in 13 years, all of that was a lot. It's a lot for my nervous system. And I'm just glad that it's better now. But I know definitely I'll be taking it easy in the coming days, just in terms of, I'm not going to go on any 3-mile walk or anything like that. I'm going to take it easy, drink water, do my stretching, do all the stuff I'm supposed to do. Have some magnesium, which we didn't bring with us. You did? Oh, I didn't know you had it. I should have asked for some. Dang it. But it was great. It was really neat to be able to be there. And you know what the hardest thing was for me, you guys? Cuddles and room service. Yes, neuropsych. That was totally what the doctor ordered. Um, what was the hardest for me in being there? I had no concerns about Scientology. Zero. It was seeing the staff members going in and out. There were more staff than public that we saw. In fact, almost all staff members.
I would say it was like 4-1.
Yeah, definitely. It was. And it was, thank you, Neuropsych, for that reminder. That's exactly what I fail to do often is hydrate while I talk. Yeah, they were mostly staff members. There weren't that many public that we saw, which I thought was interesting. And the staff members that I would see, it brought back all those memories of not wanting to be there, but feeling like I needed to be there. Like I just had to. And I just had to get through it and wanting and looking at the outside world and wanting so much to be part of it. Just like, have you guys seen The Little Mermaid? Show of hands. I when I was in Scientology, especially working for Scientology in the Sea Org or as a staff member, I so felt like the Little Mermaid, watching all the people in that regular world, and I just wanted to be part of that world. Watching them all walk around, collecting stuff from that world at times. I felt a lot like the Little Mermaid, and I wanted to be part of that world. And it's almost impossible in Scientology.
Sad.
That's it's sad, but it's happy now
It's happy
because
now.
now,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm thinking of the little girl.
yeah.
Thinking of that way, I almost cried.
Well, this was as an adult
Oh, God,
because The Little Mermaid came out later.
yeah, the idea of it made me.
I'm making Tony cry, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean. And I think seeing them reminded me what I used to feel like. And I know they feel that way. I know they do. Some days it's different. Some days it's a lot better. And you feel like you convince yourself enough, you get through enough of the mental gymnastics that Scientology requires that you can say, okay, no, I'm here doing this. We're helping to clear the planet and save people. And so people are going to have better lives, and you watch more of the propaganda, you see those international events, and you just start to buy it. But a lot of times you realize it's like, hey, I have doubts about this, or this doesn't feel good. I don't like what I saw. I don't like how this was handled or that was handled. So seeing the staff members, I couldn't help but I just really felt for them. I
did too. It was really
Yeah.
hard not to. It was hard to watch them and say, call your family. Scientology's broken up your family, and to see them avoid eye contact, hurry into the door, or be locked out of the doors by their own Scientology folks inside, and they had to then be uncomfortable while we talked to them or talked at them. It was not easy for sure.
Yeah, it definitely. I just honestly, I just wanted to hug them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to grab them. It is sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's all necessary because we're working to end the sadness of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's the whole thing.
But the human nature is if you have any sensitivity in you and all, how do you not feel sad for it?
Yes.
It's an emotional coaster.
Yeah,
But
I just felt bad for
yeah.
them, really bad for them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, wanting them to know like there's life after a cult, there's life after Scientology, there's life outside of Scientology. I should have just said that more because cult they shut off. But, there's life outside of Scientology so much. And I've been able to experience that for 13 years, more so in the last few years. And I want that for them. Every time you finish a course or an auditing service in Scientology, you get asked at the end of it when you have to show that you got what you're supposed to get out of it. You're asked, would you want someone to achieve similar gains to yours? And you better say yes, or you're not going to finish whatever it is you're on. And I feel like I have achieved everything that I wanted to achieve and gain in Scientology. I did when I left Scientology. Leaving Scientology, I finally discovered what freedom really felt like and what being able to make my own decisions felt like. It's almost like, I don't know what else to compare it to, because I was only either in a cult or then out of a cult. But if you've never been in a cult, I'm assuming it's what it feels like every day, maybe. The freedom to, you can just read a book anytime you want. You can read any book that you want. You can watch any show that you want. You can hang out with whoever you want. And those are not freedoms that most Scientologists have, and they don't even see it as a lack of freedom, because Scientology convinces them that it needs to be this way for your own safety. Going bowling, going to the movies, those are all other fish to fry, is what they call it. Other fish to fry, yeah, that's what they call it, which is so crazy. Other fish to fry. It's like you got other intentions. You're not focused on anything that takes your focus off of Scientology.
I understand
Yeah.
I understand what they're trying to mean by that, but it just sounds so insulting.
Yeah, it does.
How do you compare that to too many or whatever fish to fry?
Yeah.
I mean, it's too much.
Well, you don't. And, it's a slow boil, right?
So insulting.
It's just little by little. And then you're in this echo chamber of other Scientologists who have that same indoctrination, and you're self policing. If you start to have doubts, then, there are tools to reprogram you, but you don't see it as reprogramming. That's the thing. So that was the thing about seeing them and like, wow, I hope those things get through. They do. Look at how many people once were sent out to handle protesters, right? Myself included, back in the day when Anonymous first started up. The director of special affairs at my org wanted me to follow them and get their license plates number, which I did not do. I did not do, but many do. And you just think that you're well justified in that. Yeah, that's right. Should. You can say whatever you want. Cece, you're right. You have to daily remind myself that only I am in charge of me. That is very true. It's kind of scary, but cool at the same time. Sometimes I still will look around and be like, all right, who's going to tell me if it's okay to do this? And I'm like, nobody. Nobody's going to tell me it's okay to do anything. I mean, they might say, but it really is up to me. Andrew B., hip hip hooray. Thank you for becoming a naughty never in. Oh, I just love that membership level. I do. I really do. I think it's so funny. I just love it. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Members here as well. So I would say it probably was on par to a degree. It was, I think, what I expected at the building. The police were called 2 times. One time they just kind of sat there and watched us, and they were observing, and I figured they were observing because Scientology called, but they didn't even get out of the car. I smiled and waved. One of them smiled and waved back, and then drove off. The next time the police came was after Scientology stole my donuts. And I was thinking that maybe that's why they were there. Because whoever sent me the donuts might have called and gone, hey, we sent these donuts. They're supposed to go to Natalie and Tony and friends outside. And the person went straight into the org. And I wasn't about to stop the person because I didn't even know what they were doing. And but then I saw the message. One of my mods messaged me and said, hey, somebody's sending you donuts. I'm like, awesome. Then we realized those were the donuts. And they never came back out. Had my name on it. And here's the thing, guys. I bet you Scientology thought the donuts were from me to them. There was probably my name on it somewhere. They're like, oh, Natalie sent donuts. Which, let's be honest.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that is something I would totally do. Here's some donuts. I know you guys probably like them. I don't know if they'd eat them though. I really don't. But oh my goodness. But then when the police officer finally came out, he was very nice.
Yeah.
And first he asked to speak to whoever's in charge. And we quickly said, no one's in charge. We're all independent protesters. But I said, but I'm happy to talk to you. We all are. And I introduced myself and shook his hand. That's just habit.
I was surprised he shook your hand back.
But he shook my hand, but it's habit, especially in my business. And what I do, I'm always introducing myself and offering my hand. So I'm like, hi, I'm Natalie. And, shook his hand, which I thought was totally fine.
Well, why not?
It's
But
on brand.
Still unusual in a situation like that.
Yeah, I guess it would be a little unusual in that situation, but it's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm from Hawaii, man. We got the aloha spirit.
Right.
We're all like, hey, how are you?
Yeah. He was a reasonable man, that, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep. And he pretty much said, he's like, I looked at a lot of footage. I mean, he really seemed like,
Yeah, he went inside and watched
Yeah.
the video with the folks in the cult.
yeah, because they told him they had all this footage. And then he's like, it really sounded like, if you read between the lines a little, you tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, they made me watch so much footage.
Yeah, I have to think. I felt that way too. I kind of felt like he, was being very professional, and he more or less said, "You guys, this is you're fine doing what you're doing. Don't cross this line, and keep the sidewalk open and be respectful." And that was super easy for us because we
Yeah.
were already doing that.
Yeah, it is neat to see the difference in, depending on what officer shows up and how the situation is handled. And I think too, he could see pretty quick that like, hey, we're being cool.
Yeah.
We're chatting, talking to people, we're protesting, we're having a great time. And his whole thing was just don't block the sidewalk. Don't block the sidewalk and make sure people can get in the building, that you're not blocking them. And we're like, yeah, totally
We
fine.
hadn't done that anyway.
No.
So,
And he even said that. He's like, I didn't see you doing that at all. I watched all that footage.
yeah, so basically Scientology just wasted more police man-hour time. Again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so somebody's asking, baby girl, I'm tuning in late. Did you by chance hear the letter that Rabbit read from the protester who hit streets? I'm not sure who she got it from, but it was something. If one of them did an Instagram post about it, apologizing and feeling really bad about it, if that's the one, I didn't have time this morning to put it together fast enough to share it. I was going to see what came out about that and, try to find a way to confirm that it is from the guy, and then wanted to share about that later. But I did see that. And I thought that was, if we're talking about the same thing that I saw, I thought it was big of him to do that.
Attacked him?
Yeah, the guy who,
Apology letter?
yeah, he did. He apologized and said that he just is not in a good headspace, wasn't in a good headspace, which doesn't justify that. No. But you never know what somebody has going on, even when they do something that's stupid like that. And let's be honest, he's lucky that it was Streets, because Streets wasn't going to knock him out, because then Streets would be in jail. And that's the thing, I've learned about William. He has such compassion. Uh, yeah, motherhood, I'm with you. I'm still shocked about what they did to Danny. Absolutely. Especially when, once again, we see what happened and it's twisted to mean something completely different. It's crazy. Yep, that's right, motherhood. Every human is fighting a battle. Giving people grace sometimes, even when they do something totally stupid, if they're willing to take responsibility for it. And from what I read in that post, if it was from the kid.
Yeah, and there's I'm a little sensitive to that for sure, but I don't think it's okay to cross the line and make someone else's day bad because of it. I think that there's a responsibility there that isn't to anyone else's but yours.
Yeah, definitely. He's fully responsible for what he did. But when I look at it and I go, okay, well, will cop, even when I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm always like, Police. Am I doing anything wrong? No, I'm not.
I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I felt like I was for some odd reason.
I think that's common.
Totally the speed limit. Just waiting for him
Yeah.
to pull around and chase me down.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Danny is still in jail, as far as we know. Word was that he wasn't going to be before a judge till Tuesday. So we'll have to see.
That seems extremely extreme.
Yeah.
Even for, let's say Danny did, I don't accidentally touch his go-kart or whatever
Yep.
that thing was. For a young person to be in jail for how many days for that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep, exactly.
And of course he didn't do it.
Yep. Other Natalie, I get what you're saying. That guy realized people figured out who he was and was trying to change the narrative. Yeah, could be. Or he also did realize how stupid it was because of how many people were watching. Sometimes that opens your eyes. I just think it's a matter of he did something totally stupid. Whatever was going on was going on. But if he can take responsibility for it and, maybe apologize to Streets, which I think he reached out to him, but I don't know what happened. He's a kid. Not that being a kid makes it okay. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I feel not that like everybody gets a pass for doing something dumb, but sometimes we just got to give it to him. Maybe it's another chance for him. If it's like, yeah, you did something stupid that could have been really dangerous for more than one person, but it's like that definition of forgiveness. You guys read the book The Shack? I never saw the movie because the book was sad and happy, but also very sad. And there's that definition of forgiveness that gets used in the book that I really like. And they said that forgiveness is just taking your hand off the other person's throat. That's all. You're not forgetting, you're not like whatever. It's just you're taking your hand off the other person's throat. And so maybe that's what I'm saying, that if he really is genuinely apologizing, maybe we take our hand off his throat. Maybe he can do better. Give him a chance. I don't know. Not for me to decide anyways or judge, because I'm not the one who got hit. But I know that people do dumb things sometimes. It was weird that they took Danny to a park and then like interrogated him there and then he went to jail. It was so weird. Oh, I'll have to thank you, Neuropsych. I'll have to look for the Queen parody. That sounds funny. Yeah, you're right, motherhood. Apologies go far. I always taught my kids they aren't better than anyone else. No human is perfect ever, like technology isn't perfect. Practice makes progress. I hate the word perfect. I agree with you. I always like to say I'm imperfectly perfect.
I'm consistently imperfect.
Yeah, we are. We suck sometimes. I think the goal in life is just try not to suck most of the time.
I just try to do my best. I don't even try to be perfect. I just try to make it work and work well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Lori Plays is saying LAPD provided a fantastic example of how cops are not to do investigations and arrests. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. That's definitely true, Lori. So someone's saying that Danny's not on the Tuesday docket. Well, that's interesting too. Spicy Cat Foster, Scotty. So DOA was using some pretty PG-13 language on the bullhorn. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where I know that it's difficult for me when I do what I do on my channel in sharing clips. Hold on. What is this? Is this like ooh, look at that. That's one of those ones I think it's from out of the country.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it does. Look at the front end.
Is that a Class C?
I think so.
RV sighting, sorry.
Yes, you were watching about
yeah,
the
that's, man, I wish we could follow him and wait till he pulls over and then I can ask if I can see it.
Well, we could.
Anyways, distracted. RV. I know we went by 2 RV dealerships and it was so hard not to stop. So hard not to stop. Exactly. Squirrel. Squirrel. Amelia, good point. The Four Agreements is the book I live by. Highly recommend for everyone. Super easy read. Just states the agreement. A bunch of examples of them. You know, I looked at that a couple times years ago. I need to reread that. I need to reread that. The other Natalie, and Natalie, I'm sorry for calling you other Natalie. But so people don't think I'm talking about me. Or Natalie from Canada. Was it Canada you were from? Toronto? Yeah. Your reaction to RVs is how I feel when I walk by a kitchen store. Yeah, it's the same. I'm like, ooh, I want to see it. I want to know how big the tanks are. Can you haul anything with it? Why are you saying the guy's a repeat offender? He's not learned yet. He was informed earlier about the protest. He came out with the intent of violence. Yeah, it definitely looked that way. Okay. All right. Natalie said she's okay being called the other Natalie. Thank you. Oh my God. I just saw this handle. Goodgasm. Oh my God. It's Goodgasm 69. What's on your mind? Yeah. Where did the guy post an apology? I want to see. Instagram. It was on Instagram. I don't even know. Gosh, where did I keep a link? It was on Instagram. So if you guys take a look, tell me what you think. Wow, 23 arrests. Yeah, if that's true. There were two of them. I wonder if that was the case with both. Oh, Dana or Dana, don't know how you say it. Yeah, forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. That's so true. I just found like, even no matter what it is, just trying to like, just, because it takes a lot of energy on my part. It's like sometimes I think, I think I am super petty when it comes to Scientology. Like I am petty as hell when it comes to Scientology. But outside of that, not as much. I'm kind of like, right? What do you say? I'm just like, whatever. You're very easy. Yeah, I'm easy. I'm like, you do you.
I'm not as easy. I'm not. And I'm very. I can overlook a lot of things, and I can even be forgiving. But if you put your hands on somebody, especially someone, well, anybody, not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. And taking your hand off the throat is a great way to describe it for me. I think that's my way of being able to kind of not make it bad worse, but don't put your hands on people.
Yeah,
come on.
Definitely should not be. I think I have so much, and I don't know why, because I feel like my time in Scientology and growing up, why, and Tony and I talk about this and joke about this all the time. I will like defend somebody and be like, no, they're just having a bad day, or no, you just don't know what happened. And I'll have people close to me be like, no, that person over there does not have good intentions towards you. And I'll be like, no, I think that person's fine. They're just misunderstood. And I would say 9 out of 10 times in the end, I'm like, yeah, you were right.
They didn't have any good intentions.
That person was not my friend. And yeah.
But I love the fact that you don't see that. I really do. I mean, I wish you did, but I love the fact that you don't. Because in a perfect world, or not perfect, but consistently imperfect, even still, it would be so. It's so impressive to me when you still can hold on to the notion of not being cynical.
Yeah.
And so that's beautiful. But it can be dangerous too. Obviously, there's a balance, to everything that we encounter. I think, but it's can be slippery.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah. I often learn the hard way, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to give up on people because I don't know.
That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah, people believed in me, especially when it comes to Scientology and Scientologists. That's how I know that. Yeah. A lot of them are really good people who don't know they're in a cult and are buying into the propaganda because I did. That's what I was. And you're raised to be a certain way. And only when you're shown something different that you realize, hey, is it possible for me to be different, for me to be like that and have that level of empathy and compassion? I changed because people showed it to me, and I wanted to mirror that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's beautiful, but I think it's equally impressive that you can be treated by people poorly for so long and to the point of physical and emotional
Yeah,
damage, and still have that compassion where you were worried about not having compassion for
yeah.
that period of time in your life.
I
You know,
wasn't sure if I had it or not because
yeah,
I didn't understand it.
right.
It was so not a part. Compassion and empathy is not a part of Scientology in that world. Not in the way of if you share something horrific that happened to you, you're never going to hear, I'm so sorry that that happened. That must be really hard, or anything like that. It's just, okay, thank you for telling me. And then they move on to the next
Well,
thing.
they like squeeze the compassion and care out of people. It's like squeezing the turnip,
Yeah,
and so they've culted it out of them. And
yeah,
so you were trained it was literally drained out of you,
yeah,
and to be able to come back and still have compassion after all that
yeah,
and still feel that way, I'm impressed with people like that.
yeah.
But I'm scared for you at the same time.
I know. You'd think I don't know. Maybe it's because I've only been out for 13 years and I haven't had enough time to get jaded.
Makes sense. Well, and jaded is not what I'm looking for either. It's more like just not so easy about it. Maybe just a pause.
Yeah, I don't know, with some people, even when they've got their issues, I just feel like it has nothing to do with me. It's
Yep.
not about me. Even often when it's being directed at me, 9 out of 10 times it has, I know when it has something to do with me, or if I did something, that's
Right.
recognizable. But I think a lot of times people respond with anger, and it's because something got triggered with them, but it has nothing to do with me.
It's very big of you.
So it's easier for me to just
Yeah.
be like, eh. Well, I can't control it, and that's the thing.
I
It's
know.
things that are,
Still.
yeah. I think I'm more aware now of what's within my control and what's not. And it turns out a lot is not. All I can control is me, how I show up for something, how I want to be, and that is where it ends.
Yeah, fair enough.
Everything else, it's like, okay. Oh, Amelia, that's cool. So she says one of the 4 agreements: don't take anything personally. People do things based on their beliefs and feelings. It has nothing to do with you. They're not easy to apply, but worth it. Oh, that's cool, because that's totally how I feel. It's so much so that I tell people close to me, if you have an upset with me or I've done something, I really need you to tell me and be clear about it, because I won't know. I'm just going to assume if you're upset, something else must have bugged you, because I don't assume that it was me unless I'm well aware of what I did. Sometimes I do say some dumb stuff that's not meant that way. Like, I recently introduced myself. I went to a conference with other real estate brokers, and I'm a new real estate broker. And I stood up and I introduced myself to everybody and said that I was a baby broker, meaning I was a new broker. And it didn't get a laugh. And people looked mortified. And so I repeated it because I thought they didn't hear me. I'm a baby broker, a new broker. And then I heard myself say it. And I went, oh shit. Just told people I broker babies.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
That is not good.
I did not know you did that.
Yeah. Not
Funny.
even 2 weeks ago.
I'd have laughed.
And my previous broker was there. Colleagues of mine were there. It was embarrassing. And I had said it before too. So now it's more, I will say, oh, I recently got my broker's license. That sounds, one, more professional, and secondly, better than telling people you're a baby broker.
I'm a new baby broker.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, I said it to multiple people before I even got to that conference, and then told the entire room that I was a baby broker. Oh, it was so embarrassing, but you know what? It's like, whatever. Not the dumbest thing I've said. Yeah, rookie broker. That's what I should have said.
It's a good thing no one asked you for your card at that point.
Yeah, no one did ask me for my card. That's probably why. Yeah, a noob or a rookie, or yeah. Recently got, already practiced it.
I've recently
I recently,
become a.
I've recently become a broker. I recently got my broker's license and opened my own brokerage.
And then we'll sell babies later.
Yeah. Definitely sounds a lot better to say that. But point being, I say dumb stuff. We all do. Okay, so was I in the middle of saying something? I don't think I was. You kind of made the point there. Let's see what you guys are up to. Yep, sweet koala, you're so right. Healthy people experience a wide range of emotions. And with me, I've noticed something. I will have a delayed reaction to something. Wouldn't you say?
I would. Not all the time, but
Often.
Yes, I would say more than
the average
common,
person.
yes.
Yeah. And I think that's because in the moment, I was just so trained to keep it together and keep my TRs in. And for those that don't know, they're training routines and drills we do in Scientology from childhood so that you don't react at all, but maintain your cool basically and can continue to do whether it's your job or deliver the auditing thing that you're doing, whatever that is. Whatever that is. And even though now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that, but I don't know. I've had it happen so many times. Even like we were talking about my car accident earlier. When I had the car accident, I was probably in shock. In fact, I know I was in shock. I didn't know at the time. I couldn't find my phone after the accident, but the car was still on. And fortunately, I could talk to my car.
Yeah.
So I told the car to call Tony.
Yeah.
And so then, because I was not far from my house, and I got out of my car to go check on the other guy because I was so concerned that, we hit each other pretty bad. And but I don't know, wasn't thinking about. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, this guy. And I go and I put myself kind of like partly through his window because his window was open, and he was upset, not mad, angry, just kind of in shock, but almost crying in a way himself. And I just said, "Are you okay?" And he said he was okay. And I just told him, we're going to get through this. You're going to be okay. And I went back to my car. And then this girl came up to my car. She crossed like a lane of traffic. And I remember telling her, get in the car. Don't stand on the side on the road. Get in the car. Like I wasn't thinking, I'm the accident victim. Even when the paramedics came and I was in the ambulance and all that, I was just like, I'm fine. I have an event I need to go to. And they're like, well, we can take you to the hospital, but we're comfortable with you driving yourself there. Not me driving, but Tony driving. And so Tony ended up taking me to the hospital. But oh, wait, no. No, you had to go to a doctor's appointment.
I did.
That's right. Tony had a very, very, very important doctor's appointment. And so I wouldn't let him take me to the hospital. He had to make this an appointment. It was vital, vital, vital. And so I got a hold of a friend of mine, and she actually took me to the hospital. And then we were fine. But it wasn't until later that day or the next day, it's like when I just completely it hit me. I've just had that happen multiple times where it's just I just kind of know to expect it, that I can maintain in the moment and I keep it together, but I'll usually lose it later.
And sometimes just like things will pop up from years ago too and surprise you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
That is so true. Motherhood to menopause? No, we don't have a Tesla. I kind of like the Teslas, but I don't like just having that giant iPad thing. Like, what if it breaks? It just seems like it'd be hard to fix and stuff. I don't know. It probably makes us sound like boomers, but I'm like, I don't know.
I prefer cars from the 70s. That's where I like to drive.
Yeah, he does. I don't. I need one that has Apple Play. I got to be able to talk to the car.
I want one with a carburetor that I can start because there's no computer, and I can work on it. And I like they're comfortable, they're big, they're heavy, they're safe.
Yep.
And they're cool looking.
Yep, exactly.
I was born in 1971, so I grew up wanting a muscle car. I loved them, and so over 70s cars were the ones that I was aspiring after when I would be of age to drive. And then when I became age to drive, that's what I wanted to get.
Yep.
Still do.
Yep. I need the technology, especially after, like I said, after the accident when I couldn't locate anything in the car, but the car somehow still was on.
Yeah.
And then I said to call Tony.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to call 911. That was not my first thought.
Well, I'd gotten there faster anyway.
Yeah, because we were close to home. Yeah, other Natalie loves muscle cars too. Yeah, that's totally his thing. I think my ideal, you know what I would love to have? I would love to have one of those from the 80s, the Jeep Wagoneers. Not, I mean, the new ones are great, but they're too big. The Grand Wagoneer by Jeep, but have it installed with like Apple CarPlay and all the technology of the new cars.
Yeah, you could do that.
That would be great.
You could do that.
You think we should do that?
Yeah. We'll put a whole, we'll make it all center console custom.
Yeah. Motherhood to Menopause says we need to test drive a Tesla. Maybe, you know what appeals to me about Tesla is the tax advantages that you can get.
They're beautiful. They're very nice cars, but they're not really for me. I like gas.
Yeah, I would test drive one. Yeah, the paneled ones, Neuropsych, the ones with the wood panels. But like I said, I would need the inside to have all the technology. But I like how it looks on the outside. But really, right now, the dream is like a Class B or Class C RV. We might just have to sell both our cars and we'll just get one of those. Those darn things are expensive. No wonder people live in them when they buy them. You almost have to. They're like 60, 80,000 on up. Maybe a used one. Yeah, but fancy. Queen Victoria says, my husband would love you, Tony.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I rarely find guys that I can hang out with for long periods of time, so you have my interest.
And so a bad Dayton says they've always wanted a Mustang GT.
Nice. Yeah, 300 GT.
Oh, that's interesting. So the Model Y Tesla is under 50. Wow. Chicha kind of says, I love Tony too, in a way that is completely not disrespectful to Natalie. I love you too for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can totally love on Tony.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
How could you not? That's right. Ooh, Queen Victoria's husband wants a 1970 Chevy Nova two-door.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
You get the 424 Super
Yeah.
Sport.
Sharon had a 66 Chevy Malibu.
Nice. Love it. I had a 1979 Ford Bronco XLT in the orange, yellow, and black Ranger model for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
We enjoyed that. We had a 76 Oldsmobile Regency 98 Sahara yellow 4-door 7,500 pound vehicle, 22 feet long, with the Oldsmobile 555 rocket engine.
All right, already. Enough about the cars. But you guys get the idea. He likes the older cars. I like the newer cars. Yes, motherhood, I did see that news report of the Tesla where they drove off the husband, the dad, drove the family off the cliff and they all survived. That did pique my interest because I like the safety for obvious reasons. We definitely went to a 69 Jeep CJ5.
Yeah.
Kathy had a 64 Corvette.
Lovely.
Yeah. Nisa, do you think the internet and YouTube made a difference in getting awareness about Scientology? Hell yeah,
1000%.
definitely.
Hugely. I'm not sure it would happen the way it did without it.
Yeah, absolutely it did. Not just the internet, but smartphones. Because everybody has a camera in their pocket and can capture it. And it's not just the internet, social media. Yeah.
It was wildly successful.
It's really social media, I think, that did it because, just being able to get information out there so fast. Motherhood, I'm going to have to try and test drive a Tesla. I wonder, I heard they can haul too. Like Teslas can actually maybe pull a small
They can,
camper.
I believe.
I'm all like, what can it haul? Can it pull my travel trailer? Yeah, neuropsych, we all worry about safety. Definitely. Definitely. Ooh, Tinker Bomb had a 68 Jaguar E-Type. That sounds sweet.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, they do have camping mode. Yeah, see, I need that. Isn't it funny how what we want growing up sometimes changes when we get older? And then you kind of go back to wanting what you wanted when you were growing up.
Yeah, exactly it.
Oh, Lori says my brain heard haul isn't haul, but no, haul isn't. Can it pull a travel trailer? Hey, Battle Creek, Michigan. And thank you. Yeah, even when the notification bells hit too, I noticed that too. I don't know what is up with YouTube. Everybody like the video and check your subscribe button. I don't know, something was going on with StreamYard too. Earlier last week on Monday, there definitely was some YouTube issue in the last 7 to 10 days, I would say. And I mean, Instagram and Facebook was down at one point. Instagram was down. Medically, I don't know if you guys have heard nationwide, there was that attack on that, like you couldn't schedule things and it affected billing. Yeah, we ran into that issue when we were at Tony's doctor earlier.
The pharmacies are getting attacked too. The CVS and
Mhm.
Walgreens apparently have had some
Really?
issues with pharmacy.
Yeah, I got. We need to talk to.
appointments and stuff.
We need to talk to Pearl Snappy about this. Are we under a bunch of cyber attacks? Because it really does seem like
I
it.
believe they've said we are.
Yeah, the medical stuff not working,
Yes.
and then social media.
They've confirmed it.
Yep. Yep. See, Motherhood says they unsubscribed me to you 5 days ago. Yeah, I'm telling you. Julie, I haven't tried potassium by itself, but I will like if I think it's going to be especially a muscle spasm day, I'll eat some bananas. Someone told me there's magnesium. I need to look into that. Definitely need to look into that. Thank you, Dip Me in Glitter, for sharing the membership link. CB says you can miss me with a 72 VW bug in a Minnesota winter. Yeah, Mark Baker saying kept timing out yesterday on YouTube while listening to streams. Multiple people did. So it definitely seems to be something going on with YouTube and honestly across multiple social media platforms. Old Beatles from the 60s were so fun. Our family had a couple. Love Maddie, that's so cool. My parents had a VW bug when I was really little. Oh, definitely if we drive a Tesla, we'll chat about it. Motherhood to menopause. For sure. For sure. You guys got to see this. Oh, we're just driving through the country. Can you see it? Ooh. Just seeing some cows and some horses. But there, so you're on there too. Yeah, I've heard about the tax write-off on the Teslas, the electric vehicles. Yeah, you're right. Bottoms up. The glitch is with live, not on the replay. I always find that interesting too. It glitches on the live, but not on the replay. No more gas stations, Motherhood, but you got to find those testing or charging stations. But we just saw, we drove through the Wisconsin Dells and saw a whole bunch of charging stations. Yeah, it looks like Minnesota, but I think we're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. Probably another half hour, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pause for Andrea. I already emailed myself a link to the video to remind me to watch Nora's video. I saw part of it and I'm like, yep, I need to watch this. We'll definitely be doing that. We've been talking about where we want to go next. I know that I want to go to Clearwater and I want to go to LA. I just have to figure it out because, wow, I need to figure it out. It's going to look differently for me, and I think I just need to accept that if I'm out there on my feet, I got to keep it probably to an hour.
Or maybe we figure something out where we can sit down.
Yeah. I'll bring a chair. DOA does it. He's had a chair out there and protested in LA.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I just have to be able to sit after a while. And then I do fine. That's true. I should have just brought a folding chair.
Next time.
Why wouldn't I do that? There's no reason why I can't sit on the sidewalk, right?
It took one time to think about, maybe we should
Yeah.
bring a chair. So
exactly.
Bring a chair.
Yeah, I'm totally going to bring a chair. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we want to stay out there longer. When we're there, we definitely want to be there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need a chair.
Limited to some physical things, but
yeah.
Let's just figure out ways to push it.
And Joe Buchanan, yes, loved your playlist. Thank you very much. We listened to it on the way down. Yeah, sitting on defense. I've had Pearl Snappy on a couple times. I love her. We will definitely do it again because now I have all these questions. A golf cart. Yeah, that would be great, Mark Baker. Can you see me in Hollywood just zooming by my little golf cart? In my golf cart, driving down out on Hubbard Way. It's a cop. Es una secta.
This sounds more like Clearwater.
Call your family.
Golf cart in Clearwater.
There's life after Scientology. David Miscavige is a liar who beats his staff. Yeah, this could work. Why not? Lori plays, I'm actually going to check with CPD to see what the legalities are for bringing lawn chairs and sitting at Flag's entrance, possibly with a portable fire pit roasting hot dogs. Lori, I am in. I am in, right? Yeah. I think next, Florida would make a little bit more sense just from a logistics perspective. It's a little bit closer to us than LA. But yeah, I got to work up to LA because I feel like LA is a lot of walking. And, yeah, I want to go. I mean, for me, that is truly going back to the mothership because that is where it happened. I did services in Florida at Flag as well. But I think once I hit both, it's going to be it just seems like something that I need to do and I want to do. Lori, let me know what you find out because that would be a game changer for me. And I know there's even sometimes like, my beach chair has like a backpack thing on it. Heather, HH, aka Triple H, thank you so much for that super sticker. I never know if it's a super sticker or a super chat, to be honest. She says, you two are so cute together. Thank you. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if a sticker is just a certain amount and then a chat becomes a certain amount. I should look. I got to learn how to send them myself. I get into people's, I think you just hit the button, but you must have to tie it to an account. How's the road going back? Yeah, we're out of Illinois. John Van Geest, we are. We are in Wisconsin already.
We should be in Minnesota in about an hour.
Yeah, we're going to, in fact, this might be a fun thing to do. We'll see how it goes when we get there. We're going to go pick up Odin from my sisters. Odin, our dog. And yeah, I think the family might be there if we make good enough time. And we'll see if anybody there wants to say hi. Maybe the grandkids are there. I think the grandkids will be there. Yeah, cheese in Wisconsin. I'm telling you, as soon as we get into Wisconsin, all I can do is think about cheese curds. Tony, Joe Buchanan's asking, how's Tony feel with all the standing whilst protesting? Not too much, I hope.
I feel good.
Yeah, it was good for you?
Good. Yeah, standing's not too bad. It's exertion. Exerting myself is where I get sometimes can get a little light.
Yeah.
But I'm okay standing. Thanks for asking. I'm good.
Okay. Bad Thayton says super chat. The stickers have words. Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, Kay Taylor, you should come out to Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's so beautiful. June, yeah. Although it's just been so nice. There's no snow. It's the weirdest thing. No snow. There wasn't even snow that we saw at all.
But June is the month where the weather is is a really good chance of being that 75 and sunny and clear skies and everything fully alive and bloomed. And it's a good nice time to see Minnesota.
Yeah, it really is nice.
Everything when it's green and lush.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice place. Love Maddie. Or you're talking about your friend has a muscle disease and has to use one. Lightweight, heavy duty with a zippered basket. Ooh, is that like a seat that you could do? Yeah, I like gadgets. If something has more than one function, even better. Like my menopause fan. It's a fan, and you can plug your phone into it. I never plug my phone into it. I just like that I can. When you're out, and I use it camping. When we're not camping, I use it at home doing my live streams. All those darn lights. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have snow this year. We're already mostly through March. Yeah.
I believe, well, I don't believe, I know. Mother Nature is already in transition for spring right now. I saw garter snake last week. I saw a number of trees starting to bud,
Yeah.
which it just shouldn't be happening right now. But that is clearly a sign of spring, which doesn't normally happen until April.
Yeah. Bad Baton. Thank you for that. Look at that. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Oh, I just love the graphics and stuff. I don't mind them on YouTube. TikTok, I get really confused. Like it's like TikTok for me is like being in a casino. There's just all these like things that flash up and all that. It's definitely not for me.
I've never been on it.
I don't know what most of it means, but I love that people love it. I did hear though, we don't have a lot of snow, but I heard that it all came in rain. So we actually have more precipitation than we did the year before,
Good.
which seems so weird because we've had no snow.
What did you say? 2 inches of rain equates to
2 feet.
2 feet of snow.
That's what Paul Douglas was saying, that we got 2 inches of rain, and that would have been 2 feet of snow. Mary Baker waving back at you as we pass through Madison, or when we do pass through Madison. I don't think we have yet. Yeah. Phoebe, are you avoiding the St. Paul org? No, they got all those stairs, but the stairs are probably their property. It's just nothing's happening there. I want to go by there when the weather's better, which honestly is like it's like that almost now. No, definitely not. Chicago, there was just more news around Chicago with the opening, and there were specific people that I wanted to interview and talk to out there. So I had a little more motivation to go there. Plus, it was a road trip with my Emily. Maybe we'll make a day of it. Go protest the St. Paul with the. Why not? Train them in early. They're probably a little young. I think Oliver would like it. He'd dig on it. Oh wow, Greg's saying their lakes in Texas are awful. 21%. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, John, keep me posted then. Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. If you're going to the St. Paul org, I'll probably be the only one there for a while. But you know what? When you share it and we start sharing videos of it, other people, I've had a lot of people reach out who want to go protest in St. Paul. They just, want other people to go. Just not have had a great way of connecting people. And I've been trying to mark the emails with a certain color so I know the St. Paul people so I can reach out. But so much of this is having the bandwidth to keep track of it all. Sweet Koala, how did you find a job without ever going to school after you left? Oh, well, let's see. My first job out of the STEA organization, I went to work for my parents here in Minnesota. My mom and my stepdad owned a trophy shop. And before I joined staff in Hawaii, that's what I did. We all worked at the trophy shop. So I worked there for quite some time. And then I got remarried. And when I had my third child, I started staying home. And I was predominantly a stay-at-home mom. I was writing for certain publications and helped my husband a little bit, but not a lot. with his business. I'll have my hands full with those three kids. And after we split, then I had to create my own job. I started doing some social media marketing, which then got me into real estate. So, ooh, Stony Creek RV Resort. I don't know that one. Um, but yeah, although I pretty much have been self-employed, I've had to be. I got to tell you though, being self-employed, I would get clients. No one ever asked me for a resume or where I went to school, not one time. I even wrote for publications and never got asked where I went to school. One editor knew that I didn't go to college. But when I told her that I wanted to write a column about going back to school, she's like, "Oh, are you going to go take some college classes?" I said, "No, I'm going to get a GED." But I will say this, in Scientology, the training that I did had a lot to do with grammar and communication. So I worked a lot on that within Scientology, and pretty much did I get educated in like the things traditionally you would in school, like in high school or college? No. But I learned a lot about the English language and grammar and things that helped me to be a writer later, which is something I always wanted to do and I did do. And that definitely helped. But no one ever asked. That is a job where, I mean, each year your vehicle is a tax write off. Oh, you're talking about the Teslas? Yeah. Dip, thank you. People need hard work. You can't get a job. You may be $18 a month to charge your Tesla. Um, yeah, I think it's if you. I've talked to my kids about this. So let's look at Shelby for example, my oldest. Shelby was the one of my children who was the most involved in Scientology because she was the oldest. When Shelby left Scientology after we got her out, sent her out of the country, and deprogrammed her, and she came around, she went to college and then she went on to get her master's degree. And today Shelby has a great job in academia and she has a master's degree. Her husband has a master's degree. I sold them their home. They've got my granddaughter who's doing awesome. She's almost 3. You kind of have to figure it out. Because my daughter, like, she's the first one to say, she's like, I could never work the schedule that you work. And I'm like, well, it's all I've known, but it's also because I'm self-employed. There's no safety net. If I'm not selling homes, then nobody is paying me, which is part of why I wanted to start my own real estate brokerage is because I can only do so many deals on my own. And I've been working more in development as well with my partner in real estate, which is really exciting. The last 2 years I spent working on a commercial project. And now I'm pretty much focused on the brokerage and YouTube. That was I've made some changes in my work schedule so I can focus more on YouTube and build the channel. And I'll be honest with you guys, it is because to some of my colleagues, it was like, wait, you're going to do what? You're going to pull back some from this to work on YouTube. And I'm like, I am 53 years old. I don't have forever to take down Scientology. We don't have we need to kind of get it going. And we've been working on it for a while, but there's an opportunity right now with so many people never in Scientology who are willing to lend their voice, their resources, support by just even being there, liking and sharing and getting the word out. That's something we've never had. And I want to be here for that. And so it meant making some changes and to be able to focus more on YouTube because there's so much more that I want to do. And I am doing this because one, I'm petty as hell when it comes to Scientology. And I love doing anything that I know brings them displeasure. You will not see me petty over anything as much as I am petty about Scientology and unapologetic about it because, you know, what's Aaron say? They done messed up. And I don't want anyone else to go through what we went through growing up in Scientology and in the Sea organization. So we got to kind of like get it going. And that's why I made these decisions to make some changes so I could dedicate more time to YouTube and being able to do this. And honestly, it was you guys. You guys inspire me. You guys keep showing up and saying, hey, we want to hear about this. We want to talk about it. So that's what we're doing. catching up with the chat. Scientology off the rails. Hi, Natalie, off topic, but by the way, but why all of a sudden is the free winds moving around between St. Lucia and Barbados for 6 weeks after years in Aruba and Curacao? Huh. Let's see. So they're moving where? Between St. Lucia and Barbados. I don't know. I don't know if they switch it up. The Free Winds is a Scientology cruise ship, which I think I went on one time.
Isn't that dry dock?
Yeah, it was in dry dock for a while, but it sounds like it's moving around now.
Really?
I don't know. Definitely worth looking into,
It
though.
was not long ago. It was a dry dock, and I remember seeing something that they were saying that they really didn't know what the future of it was, and that they weren't using it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's interesting to know. I'm curious about that. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah, let us know if you find out. Murdachigal, momentum doesn't wait for the perfect timing. Exactly. Honestly, both of us are just taking a jump and a leap into this and have a strong purpose and desire to end Scientology.
Yeah. Yes, what Natalie said.
But time, and I think the last couple of years, when Tony first had his cancer diagnosis, it changed a lot. And the surgeries and the treatment, and now recovering from the treatment, and still more that all these tests and stuff that he has to do. It really, really makes you realize that you don't have all the time in the world. I don't care how old you are. When a health issue arises, you realize that clock ticking sounds a lot louder. And you want to have the experiences you want to have, but also do the things that you want to do. And for me, that's ending Scientology. I can't think of anything else that I want to accomplish. I have many things I want to accomplish, don't get me wrong. But as far as my priorities. So I am really prioritizing this because I believe that we can do it in time because you guys are here. And I try to watch as much content as I can. Sending me links and all that is super helpful because I can't watch it all if I wanted to, because I do, like I said, I have a whole real estate brokerage that I'm working on growing and doing YouTube. So that is super helpful. But it's what I would have done anyways. I enjoy it. I want to show my support too for the different content creators all over that cover Scientology, and especially in the SPTV space. It's a small community, and I think any way that we can support each other and show that support, even if it's just liking and watching each other's videos. And that's why I like doing what I do with the recaps, is because I want to take as many voices as I can and hopefully bring that to even more of an audience, because there's some amazing channels out there and so many people are doing great things that it's a great way for me to keep up on it. And I love it. And I want to honor that. It takes work to do these videos, and for so many people to share their stories, it's hard, it's difficult. And I want to honor that by letting them know, I see you. And I see your pain, and I see your accomplishments and what you're doing. And I'm so proud of you, all of them. I've met online, but it feels like I've met more of them in person. Many of the creators in SPTV, and just adore them. Just really have each other's back in many ways. It's a beautiful, beautiful community when you have that. Oh, I love Magoo. She's so funny. I reached out to her a couple times, but she'll be the first one to tell you too. She has some health issues. She has epilepsy and has some effects from that. But I'm going to go through Lara to get her set up, because she even commented on one of my videos. Are you ignoring me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like your biggest fan. I've been trying to get a hold of you through your phone, through email. So I'm going to ask Lara if she can kind of like help connect us, because Tori Magoo was one of the voices that I heard through the darkness when I wanted to leave Scientology. Tori Magoo's voice was one that stood out to me, and Jeff Hawkins.
Tori and Laura live close.
I think they do.
They live around the corner.
Because Laura and Scotty, DOA, went over and helped get her set up.
I heard her say that she lives very close to her.
Oh, good. And she's got a great story. Great story. You know, I just shared a snippet from his video, Steve-O, and I'm just blanking right now on the whole name of his channel. You guys, somebody will tell me in the chat. You know Steve-O, something Steve-O, or Steve-O something? I will remember it. I probably won't. You guys will tell me in the chat. I loved his video because he talked about that this multi-generational effect and movement that's happening right now. And just in the way that Tori Magoo, she's such an OG. She's in her 70s now. You know, I'm 53 now. It's a beautiful thing to see people pick up this cause. And because if we have our way, there are going to be less young people in Scientology. There'll be no more eventually. Exactly. Greg, that is awesome about being seizure free and making it back to driving. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Loves wood heat. No, it's not the New York Steve-O. It's Steve-O. Oh my gosh. It's in the description of my video this morning. But the point is, he did, and I have a link to his video. It was just a fantastic video, the whole thing. I really appreciated what he had to say in it. I was already thinking along those lines too, of like, wow, it's, you know, that's why we're making the changes that we want to make so we can focus on YouTube more, because it really feels like we don't have all the time in the world, and I would love to see this. I would love to see Scientology end in my lifetime. Denver Steve-O. Thank you, Jill. Yes, Denver Steve-O. Maybe we got to go to Denver. Oh, then we could see Dylan too. Or he's in Colorado. Could be a different spot. Laura. Hey, Laura. Laura, you got to help me connect with Tori. I want to have her on the channel, but I've been having a hard time getting through. Denver Steve-O. Yes, Laura. Laura, by the way, loved seeing you out there the other day, being there for DOA and giving them hell like you do. And you know what I love? The SPTV creators that I've met privately, where we've either spoken or we've, you know, done video calls offline. Really, what you see is what you get. Who you see online is who they are in the real world. Laura FM has one of the biggest hearts that I have ever seen. She is fiercely protective and loyal and will stop at nothing to take care of her people. And I hope that we do that all for you too, Laura.
Laura is another one that I just can't be impressed with enough when it comes to being treated the way you've been treated, and then still finding compassion in your soul and your heart and your body and your pinky finger.
Yeah.
My God, Laura. Love you.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I had texted her the other day. She was asking about, you know, before we left, and I said something like, well, I'm a little nervous, but looking forward to it. She immediately picked up the phone, called me. What are you nervous about? What's going on? And we talked through it, and I just love her to death. She is just a very unique, special person with a big heart. So many of the creators, it's been great getting to know them. I just want more time to be able to do more videos. I want to get Nora back on. You know, I did an interview with Nora when she was on her way to LA, and then we lost her because of technology at the airport, but we need to get back on that and finish that. Just brilliant to talk to. And again, who you see online is who you get in real life. I've had conversations with her offline as well. And so much that I want to talk to her about and do more of those. Same thing with the Liz Gale and Liz Ferris. You know, Aaron, everybody, Mike. They've just been amazingly supportive. And yeah.
You should do
I just love it.
Go to Clearwater. You should do you and Aaron should obviously do something over there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's right. Aaron's got his new studio that he's putting together. We should do an in-person one.
That'd be cool.
That'd be another reason to go to Clearwater.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet A-Rob.
Yeah, and then Laurie Plays
SB
is gonna.
Nation.
That's right, SB Nation. Lori Plays is gonna look into if we can have seats. And it seems like there's a lot of places to sit around Clearwater. So it's, I just gotta like walk for a while, but then just kind of like sit. Maybe I don't even need a chair. We shall see. Yep. Thanks for the reminder, Dip. Smash that like button. And Aaron has a Tesla too. Motherhood to menopause. I love the passion.
Can you put gas in a Tesla?
I don't know. I think you just charge it.
Half maybe sometimes.
No, that's in a Prius.
They're
You
all
can.
totally electric.
They're totally electric. Yeah. And yeah, literally, Serge was not arrested. Sergio, I don't know that he was arrested. The police wouldn't take his report after he was assaulted. I know that. Yeah, CB Nora did a great video today. Oh yeah, it's so pretty. You guys got to see the birch trees. Are these birch trees?
Oh, I'm sorry, there were some back there. These are
back there, but
maybe
still pretty trees.
They might be a river pine or
river pine.
Some type of pine, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You get to see the trees a little. Oh my gosh, I think I have like 3 shirts on. I have so much bulk. I've got the sweatshirt, a shirt, and another shirt. It was a little chilly where we were staying. Yeah, it really is pretty. Oh, that's right, Lori Plays. A huge amount of that volcano display on the ground at the entrance to Flag is public property. That's right. And if I remember correctly, it had places to sit. That's right. Oh, John, could be white pine. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Those might be white pine.
Yeah. Are we on 90 still?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going 90 to 94. John, where are you that it's almost 70? I know. Oh, are you here? Yeah, I've got too many layers, but I just started off the day that way, and here we are. I do. It's like bolt upon bolt upon bolt. It was a little chilly earlier. Wow, 64 degrees where you are. That's awesome.
Exactly 64 here.
What does my mic, you mean my Tony, have on his seat? I love it. I need one for my travels.
What?
I don't know. Oh, the cushion? Yeah, no, I think he means the pillow. Yeah, it's like a pillow thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, back support.
Back support.
It actually hugs you a bit. It's got some, kind of a U-shaped. It wraps your ribs. It feels good.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
I like it. It makes me comfy. Yeah, Tony got it for me. So then when I get in the car, I feel like I'm just being hugged by his seat covers that he got me for Mother's Day. And then put in his own Jeep, but that's a whole nother story. Oh, wow. MK is saying it's 72 in southern Minnesota.
Okay.
What is it now? 64. Okay, and we're still in Wisconsin. Oh, Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. Bad Thayton says it's 59, but feels nice. Sweet Koala, were you also a smoker? I heard everybody smokes in Scientology. No, I was never a smoker in Scientology. I did try it once because so many people in the Sea Org were smoking, but I didn't like it, thankfully. Oh, 48, where Love Maddie is. 71 in Texas. Wow.
It's got chili.
Hello, Pooh Tiggaroo. Ooh, I said that almost in a Pooh voice. Pooh Tiggaroo. Yeah, definitely too warm with a jacket. have a whole list of people that I want to interview. Some of them I have to get the channel, we have to get the channel bigger so they return my emails. Honestly, that's one of my biggest motivations for getting more subscribers is because when I reach out to other creators, mainly ones not specifically in SPTV, I think they'll return my emails if I have a bigger channel. So I'm motivated by that. Wow, sweet koala, you smoked for 10 years. Kind of regret it. Yeah, I could see that. Greg, that's crazy. You didn't smoke until you went to rehab. I see that, though. I could see that. I've heard that, too, that some people started smoking then when they went to rehab. Sil- Silva Larson, why did you decide not to drink anymore? Because I drank too much when I did. Um, yeah, I think it was pretty much that simple. I had told myself, okay, I'm going to cut back. Multiple reasons, mainly health reasons, because alcohol can cause a lot of inflammation and is a big contributor when it comes to cancer. And I had had a scare. I had some abnormal cells, and I had a lumpectomy. And they told me that 10 years ago that would be considered cancer, and I would have had a double mastectomy. But thanks to research, they knew that though every woman with those cells that I had breast cancer, like when you had breast cancer, they'd show up. Not every woman with those cells developed breast cancer, if that makes sense. So they took them out, and it got me really looking. And honestly, I had some great doctors too. One, I knew I drank too much and wasn't moderating it. And so that combined with, my doctors telling me, like, hey, it's one of the bigger causes of breast cancer is alcohol. And when they told me how little amount of alcohol increased your chances, specifically, we were talking about breast cancer, it blew my mind. I thought they were lying. I thought, is this just some kind of propaganda? So I actually looked it up and looked into it, and they were right. They were darn right. The normalization of alcohol and the normalization of dependency and abusing alcohol, at least in our country, is ridiculous because it's literally killing people and hurting people. It I think it was like they said anything more than like 2 drinks a week. I was like having 2 drinks a day.
The one thing, just real quick on that topic, the normalization of abusive drinking.
Yeah.
I think of the kids in like high school and college, and they overdrink, they pass out, and kids will draw on them, put glass, like take the Sharpie, put it,
Yeah.
a circle around their eyes, and that's supposed to be funny. It's actually, if you would grab something under the kitchen sink with a green sticker on it that was poison and drank that, you'd call poison control. It's no different. It's just something that's somehow accepted and normalized. It's really sad.
Yeah, especially with women. Like I don't like the whole, mommy juice culture and things that promote it, or that this idea that I feel like it's targeting women, that moms specifically need it to get through the day. There are a lot of cute joke things around that, but when you really look at it, I'm like, it's a carcinogenic. Where, how did we, how did we get here?
Inflammation alone in our bodies can't happen.
Yeah.
You can't take on inflammation.
Yeah.
So that's a direct result.
Yeah, totally. For many people, they can handle it fine, and maybe they don't have the same inflammation and things that occur. But it was wreaking havoc on my body for sure, for sure. And given that on my father's side, come from a long line of alcoholics, I was like, okay, this is probably just not something that's just not helping me, wasn't serving me at all. And for me, it was just such a habit. And then when I changed that, it's been eight years.
Almost, yeah.
I think about 8 years. It'll be 8 years in July. Yeah, I don't even think about it. I go to happy hour with friends. I just have something else. Greg says, I went through a long list of whatever gets you high. Meth, opiates, alcohol, it's all the same. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I think, everybody's got to make their own decisions. Everybody is so different and has different situations. Your body's made differently. Your predispositions to different things. It's not the same for everybody.
Yeah. And I keep track of myself anyway. What's
Yeah.
right for me is right for me. What's right for you
Yeah.
will be right for you.
Exactly. Someone's asking, can Sea Org members drink? Yes, but not on the regular. One, you don't have a lot of money to spend on it, but every year there's a big party. I don't know if they still do it. I heard they stopped, but back in my day, oh, Laura, thank you. I think it's the home number that I was missing. I wasn't reaching her on the cell. Thank you, Laura. Um, God, I just forgot what I was saying.
I heard you next week.
Yeah,
I was watching that guy come up on me, and
no, that's fine. Yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about. We moved past the alcohol thing. Oh yeah, Sea Organ drinking. Thank you, John. There was the bosun's party every year. I think it was in December. The Sea Org would have this thing called a bosun's party where it was like music and dancing and drinking, and people would just get trashed and then get in huge ethics trouble afterwards for many of them. Because oddly, when you mix alcohol with a bunch of people who are so repressed in many ways, they get into trouble. It's wild. It was a wild party. I only went to a couple, and then I was like, that's too wild for me. But on the regular, I mean, there's nothing that says you can't. But in Scientology, within 24 hours of being on course or getting Scientology auditing, you can't consume any alcohol. So if you're on course every day like you're supposed to be, then you really can't be drinking. I don't think they have alcohol on the free ones. At least they didn't or didn't make it available when I was there. Because why would they? If you're on the free ones, it's because you're doing Scientology services and you can't be consuming alcohol within 24 hours of it. Yeah, I have a hard time saying your name, but you grew up in a culture where you're more into it. Yeah. My youngest sister grew up in England and she could go to dinner with her mom at 16 and have a little bit of wine. Yeah. Yeah. Remember to hit the like button, everybody. Check that subscribe button too. Oh, it's so nice out. So much better than when we were driving there and it was raining. The clock in my car is right now because of daylight savings time.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that it didn't change on its own. Seems like it really should have, considering the setup in this car. But on the way, Tony almost was going to change it. I'm like, leave it. It's going to be correct by Saturday. Now I have to remember it's the correct time and don't take off an hour. Oh, someone was talking about the free winds having asbestos. That sounds really familiar. I think Sea Org members were made to remove the asbestos. That sounds vaguely familiar. Um, Scientology Peeling the Onion did an interview within the last couple of weeks with a guy who was on the ship. I bet you in his interview they might have covered that. But it's on Scientology Peeling the Onion. I love Maddie says a childhood friend's parents were French, so her older brother and her sip wine at dinner along with their parents. Yeah, it's real different in different cultures. And neuropsych, you don't have to keep us busy. Enjoy the ride and deal with whatever it is. We'll be fine. I'm having a great time. This really passes the time. It's beautiful out here. And it's much easier this way too because I can look straight ahead and see the road and then I don't get car sick. Did you work there where there was asbestos? I did not work on the free winds, but I was there as a passenger. I'm not aware if I worked anywhere with asbestos when I was in the Sea Org. We on Sundays would do renovations. So no matter what your job was, most of us then went and did like we were renovating the Bridge Publications building back then. You would just do renovations all day, which honestly was kind of cool because it got you outside of your, if you were a paper pusher like I was, it's kind of nice to get out and do something like that. Totally love Maddie. It totally makes the time fly. It made it fly on the way there. That's I was like, well, if people can always tap in, tap out, but it helps us pass the time. But yeah, I don't know anything about the asbestos. Yeah, Joe, definitely drinking. And I mean, I knew Scientologists, especially ones who were, just members, not staff members or Sea Org members. We, my husband at the time and I went out to dinner a couple times with a few Scientology couples and then would have wine with dinner. And I knew a few who had some drinking problems, which Scientology was always trying to handle them on because they thought they had the technology to handle that, but they did not. Cece is asking, do you think you've healed from all the trauma and dysfunction in Scientology or work in progress? Work in progress for sure. Cop, definitely work in progress. There's so much. I think to be honest, I think there's stuff I'm not even aware of yet. Because it's like it comes off in layers and a certain layer comes off and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that other stuff. It's a lot of unpacking when you've been shoving it all into a very small box and packing it away. I did not hear Kim tell her story on Gab's channel yesterday. Gabs, bottoms up. If you have time, if you can email me a link to that, Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. I'd love to see it. Are you talking about Kim McNeil in Canada? And is Gabs is it the Cultivers? It's it's hard because sometimes you learn people's names, but then they have like their handle. That's why sometimes it's confusing because some of you will have a name here on YouTube, and then you'll email me, and the email will be a different name, and then you sign it with a different name, and I cannot keep track of who's who sometimes. Hey, Joe Virus, howdy, howdy. Do you want to write a book? Let's see. Thanks for the road trip question. Do you want to write a book? Yeah, I started. I've worked on it multiple times, and that's just something else I need to carve out time for. I actually have it on my to-do list to get it done this year. I would love to do a little bit of, RVing and glamping and work on that. Do my live stream in the morning and work on the book. I know I could get it done if I just had more time. I'm probably gonna have to just, I got to figure it out because I have it wouldn't be something that's easy to do in the evening because I'm just like brain dead by then. But you can tell sometimes in my videos when I'm doing interviews, if it goes too late, then I get really tired. That's why I like to do them earlier in the day if I can. But yes, working on a book, I need to finish it. So keep bugging me about it because if you guys think that's a great idea and you would get it and read it, I will write it. Let's see. Will you come to California and protest? Silva Larson? Yes. I don't know when, but yes. I might do Clearwater first, and then Los Angeles. I want to work on. I want to get stronger. Just I'm doing pretty good, but if I have to walk around for any length of time, I said it really triggers my muscle spasms. I like to be able to do it without hurting so much. So it might be like protest a little, cop a squat, protest a little, sit down. I should have done that in Chicago.
I'd like to get to LA myself now.
Yeah, you rather do LA.
I want to go there now.
Did you like LA?
Well, I want to protest with everyone in LA first.
Yeah.
I want to protest with that. Remember, I'm a never in.
Yeah.
So, it's obviously it's wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
I like excitement.
Yeah, no, I know you like excitement. That's why you would like LA. But part of that's what makes me nervous. Not me handling myself. You know, you'd handle yourself, but your desire for excitement can lead to excitement. I worry about that. I can see Tony has tattoos. Do you have tattoos? I do. I have. I have a couple. I have this one, which I can never show because my arm doesn't turn that way. It says "Live Aloha." I can see it when I drive. It's really helped with my road rage.
All right.
Yeah, Tony has a few. One of them is my middle name. It's on the other. Is it on that arm? If you can see it, it says Napualani. Queen Victoria, I do not know anything about Charlotte, North Carolina, but you guys tell me. Thank you, bottoms up. Sweet koala, love me some tattoos. Yeah. One of my daughters, not Shelby, the other one, Kelsey, who you guys have not met yet. She got when she was younger, she got this tattoo. Um, I didn't want her to do it, but she did it. It turned out a little funny. I always told her that's what you get for not listening to me. Anhata on fire. Thank you so much for that. Full-time RVers here. Fifth wheel. Ask me anything. Ooh, do you have a YouTube channel? What does that say in the circle? I can't see it. If you do, let me know what it is. Or my email's Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. I would love to connect. I want to combine glamping and RVing with exposing Scientology, doing live streams from the road, just like, because I'm fascinated by both worlds. I think it'd be neat to combine those communities. Yes, crafting Emily. Natalie was counting her spoons. That's right. Yeah. I should have paid more attention to my spoons on Saturday.
Yes.
I forget about that.
Sometimes it's hard, especially when it's something you really want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoons.
Yeah.
It's difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When it's something I really want to do and I'm excited about it and I'm enjoying myself, because it doesn't hurt. It starts to hurt after a while when I'm there, but I have a really high pain tolerance and I want to be there and I want to participate and I want to keep talking to people. But then it hits me. I'm hot on fire. Hip hip hooray. Thank you so much for becoming a naughty never in. John says from glamping in an RV to exposing Scientology. But both, right? Doing both, I think would be absolutely fabulous at the same. It would like combine worlds for me. And because I feel that we have an opportunity to do this right now, that the only way to do the other things I enjoy is if I can bringing down Scientology into it. Because I really want to focus on exposing Scientology. But I also know now that I need to focus on other things too, and other things that I enjoy. I spent 35 years of my life in Scientology.
Yeah.
I can't, not that I can't, I shouldn't spend every waking moment battling Scientology. That's why I need to bring in something else that I enjoy.
Yeah,
so we all need to go glamping.
In the timing of our life and our family, the timing for us to be total empty nesters is coming up in a year. My son Dominic is going to be a senior next year, and when he's done, that's the last of our kids that will be out of school.
Yeah.
And at that point, it would have been something that we would have started to think about, where are we going to go from here.
Yeah.
So travel has always been part of the plan, and then with my health, things that have come up more recently, it's even more of a inspiration to make that happen, so we can have both sides of
Yeah.
the equation.
Figure out a way to get it all done. Find out what we enjoy doing and how can we combine that with bringing down Scientology.
Sure.
And that's how I think how it can be done.
Yeah.
It can completely be done.
Well, we can travel the country and we can go to anywhere we want to.
Yeah, and these days with technology,
we want to.
With technology, we can get on the internet, we can live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, Michelle. Doctor told me that adrenaline can override the pain sensors, and when you stop, it hits hard.
So true.
That's why a lot of people get sick after adrenaline rush. Oh,
that's true.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that, but that's what happens every single time. It's not till I stop. And sometimes it's just doing my normal day and work and getting through all of it. And I've been questioning that. I'm like, why do the muscle spasms come when I stop? When I sit down and I put my feet up, you think that would be like the time to just relax. Gemini girl, hi, Natalie and her Tony. Do you take a prescription strength potassium for your spasms? No, and no doctor has brought this up to me about potassium, so I need to look more into that if that's helpful, which it sounds like it is. Yeah.
Don't really do it when you got a serious
Yeah, definitely. And they're having me do a lot of there's a certain kind of PT that's neurological, physical therapy instead of the regular. And I've come a long way. I just have zero patience because I just want to do everything now. And I want to physically be able to do it now. That's why, in part, it took me this long to come back to start sharing and exposing Scientology again. I would have done it earlier, but what I had going on was really interfering. Like I couldn't have handled another thing. And now I'm like totally in a different place mentally. I'm ready to do this and wanting to do it. My body doesn't always cooperate. But there's ways around that. And it's what's really inspiring to me, you guys? Seeing people like, hey, Carrie Ann, she's in a wheelchair and she's out there protesting Scientology. You see Tori Magoo out there with her cane, who's in her 70s. I can go on and on. There are multiple people actively, LA Audit LA in a wheelchair protesting Scientology. It really inspires me that, hey, even if I can't be out there for 3 hours or long periods of time standing, doesn't mean I can't still participate and do what I can do. For me, it's more just being okay with, holding those boundaries there. No one's making me stay out there for a long time. It's only me making myself do it. I just need to get better at going, okay, you got an hour and that's it. And then you're out. And then you can go back to it. If you get like Bad Thayton saying, if you get like Charlie horses in your leg where the muscle not up, I get them when I stretch in the morning. And when I get those, I eat more bananas. That's me too. I try to eat the bananas. It's my entire, from my toes up into my hips. It's in my ribs. My hands will twist and contort. It's almost everywhere. I do take magnesium, but I think I need a better one because there's multiple types of magnesium, right? There's citrate. There's 2 other kinds, I think. You doing all right? You want to switch? We're less than an hour, I think. Okay. On How to On Fire, what kind of magnesium do you use? Somebody told me there's time release. And Michelle, yes, I could go regular glamping and still use your regular videos if they have good internet. Sent you email inviting you to my hubby's farm camping experience in Northern Ontario. Ooh, thank you. I need to renew my passport. That's fantastic. Yeah, not far, I bet, from there. Hydrate today and talk to the doc about supplements, please. Yes, neuropsych, definitely. I'm going to send her a message. Oh, yeah, is that tomorrow? Tony's getting 2 bags. Tony's getting iron infusion starting tomorrow. He's been a bit on the anemic side, and just taking him orally just doesn't seem to have been doing it. Oh, and Hada says that she uses topical magnesium spray, Epsom salt soaks, and special magnesium supplement. Topical, that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Dana says Nature's Branch magnesium citrate.
Topical spray that might help.
Magnesium glycinate, yeah, is better tolerated, doesn't cause diarrhea. Ah, yeah, I've tried both. I know one is better for the muscles. I forget which one. Yep, I know those side effects from the magnesium. Yeah, neuropsych, I agree. I even asked his oncologist, like, is there something that can help him absorb it more? He didn't seem to know, but I feel like there is. Bad thinking, we're all bad often about taking our supplements. That's for sure. Yeah, I need to take more magnesium. I want to find one that that's not in a. Well, I had one I was taking that was pills, but I don't like having to drink it. Nature's Brand is best. That's interesting. We are so excited to get home, go pick up Odin. Hopefully, I'll be able to see my grandkids. Oh, tablets. Okay, so citrate is the better one for bones, muscles, and nerves. That's the one I believe I have. Yeah, I got the map pulled up. Whoops. Yeah. It is. Let me recenter. Are we on? We're on 90. So when you get off on 94, it says it's like 49 minutes. Yeah. No, I think we are on. It says stay on 94 West. So we must be, but I think we've got like 50 miles to go. And it's flying by because we got the chat with us in the car. Oh, anhata. I didn't even know there was where you could get more than one kind in it. Pam, I did hear that magnesium taken with D3 was the way to go. And with potassium, I think too. Wow, that's good, Bad Thayton. Okay, yeah, John says that we are on 94 because once you pass Madison. Yeah. Silva Larson, thank you. My hair is a moving target. I am just not I do my hair person. I mean, I'm way behind. As you can see, my gray, I haven't even colored it.
Can't see mine.
But yeah, I love wearing it up and getting it out of my face. But if I take the time to style it, that's always fun. But I don't always. I'm like a kid. I just like want to get going.
With hair that fabulous, you don't need to style.
I don't need it. Yeah, I did brush my hair today. I pulled it up to do the live stream. I had pulled it back. Hold on, I need a battery. Oops, there. I just needed to plug in the iPad. Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, I didn't even drink my soda. Oh, on how to, yeah, my sister has fibromyalgia. Yes, the silver hair part. She's got the silver hair. It looks like we froze for a minute. Or is it this iPad? Because we're fine there. Oh. I didn't even see that. I'm reading the comments on the iPad, and I was telling Tony, I'm like, oh, I think we're frozen. I had to hit the play button on the iPad because the camera is there, but yeah. So I always say I'm Gen X, but I got some boomer tendencies. Oh, April, you do the gabapentin. When I first, because when I couldn't walk, I literally woke up like that. And then I had Bell's palsy and a whole bunch of stuff that was going. It was like one thing after the other over a 3-day period. And gabapentin is what they gave me. I absolutely hated it, but took it long enough that I could get myself walking more again. And it was all neurological because my brain, like for me to start walking again, I had to tell myself to take a giant step, or no, was to lift my leg very high and then I could take a normal step. It's like my brain wasn't, I had to learn the new code.
It was like you didn't know where the ground was.
Yeah, it was like I didn't know where the ground was. I had to tell myself to move a certain way that wasn't how I wanted to move, and then my body would do it. It was weird, but we got there. We got things more lined up better. And then even then it took them still 4 more years before they realized what it was being neurological. They kept thinking I had MS, and I kept having clean MRIs, and I was finally told that science finally figured it out medically. Was it both sides neuropsych? No, the Bell's palsy on one side.
On one side.
It was on one side, but my inability to walk and move right was both sides.
Right. But worse on one side.
Yeah, but worse on my left side.
All the way down.
Yeah, it was all the way down. And then when I get a flare up, I'll get like where I'll start to drop things. It's often my left hand and I'm left-handed. It's almost like it just doesn't listen. I have to focus more. Even with walking, if it's flaring up, I have to really focus on walking to get myself to do it right and not just stop.
Yeah, it's almost like when the brain sends the message to the legs to walk, it doesn't keep sending it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like one time it sends it and it goes and then it forgets.
Yeah. So sometimes I have to take it like just a second, especially if it's like wet. There's something about that in my brain that my brain's like, nope, not walking on anything wet. And I'm like, this makes no sense. But we've been figuring it out. Sweet koala, it gets triggered by a lot of stress and if I don't sleep. But the way it was explained to me was functional neurology. Regular neurology, like you'll have somebody with MS has lesions on their brain or spine. Functional neurology, they don't see lesions. It's a hardware problem. No, software. MS, they said, is like having a hardware problem, and functional neurology is like having a software problem. And they used to think it was all in your head because they couldn't see it on an MRI. But then there was some new brain stuff or something that came out, and they're like, yeah, we can see it. But they learned that it's literally in your head, but it's because your brain rewired those pathways rewired in a way that caused the miscommunication. And then when any more stress comes on, that's my basic understanding of it. I don't fully get it. I just know that it's getting better. Yeah, the replay switch flickers. That's a good way of saying it. Neurotransmitter that attaches to the muscle. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, April. Oh, Bad Thayton, I love that tattoo. It says, you are worth more than your darkness. It's on my forearm. It's my reminder to myself. I love that.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Really good. Actually, I like that a lot.
Yeah. That's so true. What the hell happened there? I'll be hit it over there. It's like it bent right over. Weird. With like giant sign just completely bent over. A solenoid implant? I don't know what that is, neuropsych. Yeah, I don't know.
It's electrical current,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Is that electrical current?
Elizabeth, yeah, bad arthritis days, dropping stuff. I can see how that would be. Michelle, campground itself doesn't have internet, but we have Starlink, and it's great internet. You are welcome to use ours. We are on a sheltered bay on Lake Huron. We'll send invite again. Come as our guest. Please
Cool.
do. Thank you.
Like you're
Yeah. If it's in Canada, though, we got to get our passports sorted. hmm Tony's got a son who's in college in Canada, too, or not far from there. So we'd have multiple reasons to be there. Hey, Gems of SPTV. Silva, I'm glad you love the car chats. I do, too. Sweet Koala, do y'all ever fight? You seem so great together.
No, we don't agree on everything.
Yeah.
But we talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we were reasonable about bending and getting along and making sure. No, we don't fight.
Yeah, we disagree.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
About not about core basic living lifestyle and meaningful things. About situational. How do you handle this, or how do you handle that, or what do you think about this restaurant? It's not nothing serious yet. Yes, we do. We get along wonderfully, and it's we started. The idea of accepting each other, the way that when you meet and you accept each other as you continue to mature in your relationship. I love to be accepted more than I'd like to be loved in the verbiage of things. I want to be accepted. Then I know you love me. We love each other and get along wonderfully.
Yeah. We have our moments, though. We've been together 10 years. We broke up 3 times.
Who doesn't?
But for very, very short periods of time. Tony doesn't even consider that breaking up.
I didn't consider breaking up.
One of the 3 times, it was his idea. And he still doesn't think that we were broken up.
Nope.
But it's been a while. I don't know. I feel like we got it now.
I don't feel like we broke up. I feel like we needed to figure a couple things out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because I don't want to get into it too far. But
we were on a break.
It was just something we both went through some lives, and we've both been married previously. We both have certain things that happened in our past that were abusive, and we have to learn how to communicate better in our relationships, and that's what we were doing. We were learning how to communicate better.
Yeah.
In order to be better, and it just took some time to realize.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've been through a lot of things.
We have a ton of things.
Ton of things in the last 10 years.
We've had deaths in our families. We've had businesses closed. We've had pandemics. We've had our kids go through some things. We've had us go through some times. But we're still here and we're still rocking it.
Hello is asking, why did you break up? I think the simple answer to that, for me and my perspective, I didn't know how to deal with certain things. Like for me, it was like that. All I ever knew in life was Scientology and Scientology tools and a Scientology way of seeing things. I met Tony 2 years after I left Scientology.
I didn't feel like I could give Natalie so I thought she needed some things that I just wasn't able to give at the time, if I'm remembering well. And I felt like she needed to do things that I just didn't know how to do. So I felt like I was holding her back from healing and going forward in her life, and I think that was kind of the premises of it, and for me in my mind.
Yeah. And it's like the more I, figured things out and got some tools on how to deal with life, and we just kind of like gelled back together again. And it's been a while. Yeah. And so now here we are.
That we've talked about our ecosystem before and how we've set it up where we both have an environment that we both thrive in, and each of our environments are different, yet we share it. And so that ecosystem knowledge really came from that time.
Yeah.
We were going through that time, and the realization was numerous, but finding the ecosystem that we both felt comfortable in and then able to share it was hugely important.
Yeah, Scientology is not helpful when it comes to figuring out your relationship.
No, and I had my parents, bless them both. My father passed away, my mother's still alive, but they themselves were separated, more or less divorced to each other 3 times before I was 19. So I wouldn't consider myself a relationship expert either, coming out of my adolescence. So we all come from a place. I'm just thrilled that we have always been willing to learn and to grow into it and try to do the best that we can for ourselves and for each other.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we're both very fortunate.
Yes, we are.
And then you go through something like his cancer diagnosis and you realize that all the little bullshit that you thought was so important was bullshit.
Yeah, it's real easy to stop and smell the flowers if you hadn't already.
Yeah, exactly.
Receiving the type of news and having the type of fun that I've had over the last 2 years, it's easy to see.
Yeah.
Clearer.
And the acceptance too. Our brains work very differently. We could not be more on opposite ends of that spectrum of neurodiversity, and that Tony has ADHD and overfocused ADHD, and I'm not diagnosed, but whatever the total opposite of that would be.
There might be
it might be a little bit more. I had one doctor say she'd be surprised if I wasn't diagnosed as being on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But some of it could be the cult stuff.
Almost more like, program driven, like things in the same time, same place, same type of comfortable, I don't think like that. I'm like a little bit more wild. Natalie is a little bit more conservative in our behavioral mechanics.
Tony's more spontaneous. If we go to a pool, here's a great example. If we go to a pool, he will just run towards the pool and jump in. I have to stop and read the rules. Then I got to know where the exits are. I got to look at all the people there.
I figure if I do a cannonball, they're not allowed. Someone will tell me. I'm not hurting anything at that point, but I don't think like that though. I don't. I see it. I see what I want to do, and I go jump into it.
Yeah, he's more impulsive. I feel like we pull each other towards the middle.
We do.
Because we're on opposite sides of that.
We absolutely do. Well, you pull me more toward the middle. I don't know if I pull you toward the middle. But
I think I'm way more loose about like written rules and stuff.
Well, that's way more loose, but way more coming from the far right. But yes, we meet somewhere in between very well. Wherever that point is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, Dustin, you're in Clearwater. That's awesome.
Hi, Dustin. What's the weather like in Clearwater today?
I bet it's gorgeous. Neuropsych, yes, opposites attract. I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I would too. Pheromones don't hurt either.
Yeah. We love how each other smells.
Can't get enough of it.
That's always been a thing. That's right. With enough preparation, even coincidence can be prepared. And bad Thetan, I see you need a snack. You don't want to ruin your dinner. Depending on where you are. Queen Victoria says, my husband is the turtle and I'm the rabbit. Yeah. That seemed like that too. Yeah. But it's so great when you can have that person, whether it's your partner, maybe it's even a friend, just somebody in your life who knows you so well that they can see. Tony can spot a flare up, me having a flare up way before I can.
Yeah.
He's like a truffle pig for neurological issues.
I've always been really good at picking up on very, very subtle things, indicators, if you will. An eye twitch I can glean a lot of information from body posture and so forth. But Yeah, I can tell before Natalie for sure.
Yeah.
And that's interesting too because her body's the one doing it to her.
Yeah.
You
But
think she'd feel it internally.
I ignore it. I don't know how else to explain it. You know, in Scientology, we had to like sit there for hours and hours and hours without moving and not, you know, itching anything. And I don't know, it becomes sometimes like a little bit of a default
Yeah, well,
when something's difficult.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You have been trained to power through things.
Yes.
Not give it attention.
That is a great way of putting it.
It doesn't exist, or you will pay the price. You have to plow through it when you're sick. You don't get, you don't get mom's chicken soup. You got a, metal bed with, hardly a mattress.
Yeah.
It's just with no one to, stroke your hair and bring you, things to make you feel better. You were totally alone in that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why we work well together.
I love the Jesus out of you, babe.
Yeah, I love you, babe. You're right, sweet koala, or who was saying that? Deborah, it's a female thing to make things less than they are as well. Exactly. So add that on top of, Scientology and not responding, or it's just also interesting.
I know this. We've helped each other heal in many, many, many ways, and continue to.
That's so true. And Tinker Mom, what you're saying, that very training now turned against the perpetrators. The irony is so fantastic.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God, it so is, because not only do I still have the know-how and the training, but I've done enough healing that I can control it in my favor. So there's nothing they can throw at me or do that's going to faze me. Because honestly, there's almost nothing anybody can do that will really faze me, because I know that it's got nothing to do with me.
Right.
And yeah, it wasn't always that way, but definitely now I feel more sorry for Scientology. And sometimes you guys have heard me say this, sometimes I get offended. I'm an ex-Scientologist, but the part of me that was like still a Scientologist gets offended at the shit job that a lot of them are doing, especially when it comes to the Office of Special Affairs.
Scientology has lost their
They're
game.
slacking.
Yeah.
Just some of the things I've seen, it's like, what are you doing? It's just so next level crazy. It's just gotten so much worse than when I was there. And it was pretty bad when I was there. But to your point, though, yes, you can turn it on them. And Scientology hates it. In fact, when I left Scientology, they sent 2 Sea Org members, flew out to Minnesota to handle me, to try and get me to go to LA to route out properly, which I was never going to do. And I only took the meeting because it was closure for me and I wanted to see the song and dance. So I met with them. And that was one of the things they brought up. They said, you used Scientology's rules against us to get your family out. And I said, yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty smart, actually. And they were very upset about that. That was one of their big things, like with my declaring me a suppressive person. I was thrilled to death because, like I said, when it comes to Scientology, I'm petty as hell. And if something bothers them, I take extra pleasure from it because they need to wake up. The people who are handling me, the people assigned to watch these different channels, there's so much life after Scientology. And maybe it'll, hopefully it'll get through to somebody. It got through to me, got through to Tori Magoo, many people. Yeah, exactly, neuropsych, but don't mess with my daughter. Well, that's actually what they were referring to, is because what I did after they did that was I just flipped them on their freaking head and made sure she wouldn't be qualified to go back. I played their own rules against them and they were stuck and they knew it. There's nothing they could do about it.
I love that. I love that they trained you and you use the training.
Yeah, exactly. I got a real high tolerance of BS, and it comes in handy with Scientology a lot of the time. Uh, Sweet Koala, do you think Scientology will still exist in 10 years? God, I hope not.
I don't think so at all. My crystal ball says absolutely not.
Yeah.
It might be in court, but it won't be open.
I think on some level, there are people, independent Scientologists who practice Scientology outside of Scientology.
That may happen. It won't be an organization that's functioning.
And I don't have a problem with that. Believe what you want to believe. Believe in Xenu. Audit out your body things. I don't care. You just, as long as disconnection is not practiced, all the other abusive parts of it aren't practiced. Fine. Believe what you want.
Yeah,
I honestly don't care about that.
Beliefs is up to you, up to people. It's harming other people, controlling other people, the abuse part. Of course, that's not okay. Believe in Xenu all you want.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's saying just because, or what was it? How come they don't have to report how many members they have to the government? I don't know of any religion that has to report that now during a census. Oh, my earbuds went out.
But on that note, my observation, and I'm sure not just mine, but most when we're watching everyone stream and we're seeing the images of these Scientologists, most of them are older, and there's less young people and more older people, and with the momentum that's moving with all the creators and all the never-ends that are clearly interested in talking and supporting everyone, it's just continuing to grow. So if nothing else, in the near term, I think that the ability to acquire new members is going to be very, very difficult. So you can look at it that way too. Stop new people coming in, and the people that are currently in will leave for whatever reasons they will leave for. It will be their own reasons, but they're not gonna get backfilled the way that they've been, and that will start
back in action. Did you? Back in action. Did you? Oh, I can't see it, but why can't I see it on here? Oh, okay. She probably had to go. Oh, Popo. Double Popo. Looks like he ran out of gas.
Why do they need two cops?
Probably because one doesn't have anything to do. On Hada, that was so funny. You got to send 10,000 donuts to Chicago since they have to steal Natalie. I should send them some flowers and thank them for hosting me. And only calling the cops twice. I do want to say, though, I think everybody should remember most people in Scientology don't know they're in a cult, and most of them are good people.
Right.
The biggest a-holes are in the Sea Org.
Imagine Natalie. She was indoctrinated. She didn't have a choice in the matter. Much like so many of the Scientologists, they don't know they're in a cult. What they know is what they know. So, definitely can't forget that they're people like us.
That's right. Sharona, how much auditing for eating the SP donuts? They should all be security checked. For stealing my donuts, there should be a security check. They should do some rollback. We should do an interrogatory and find out who said you could eat the donuts. When was it said? What did they say? Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull that up quick. I go to the map. Recenter. Okay, so we are on 94. And you want to go, yeah, we got a ways to 94 to 94 to 51.
How far is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Off 94, then you get off on, I don't know. I think it's 94. Yeah, it's 94 to 51. 51 is Snelling, I think. Yep, it is Snelling. So it's just 94 to Snelling. Okay, cool. It's important we know where we are going. Oh, it's getting all bouncy. Oh my gosh, look at that. No ice. Is that the Mississippi?
That is the St. Croix.
The St. Croix? You guys want to see the St. Croix River? Check it out. It's so pretty. We're by the view. Oh, yeah, they won't see it. I'm moving too fast. I showed some of the river. Gotta catch up with the chat. I hope Scientology's not around in 10 years.
It won't be.
Yeah.
They'll lost their tax exemption. They will be in court, if anything. They'll be in court.
Yeah.
It will not be upgraded.
Yeah, I think Leah Remini's lawsuit with about the harassment could be a game changer too.
It's just going to build from here.
Oh, Joe, you work in a Krispy Kreme factory? Nice. Nice. We used to have Krispy Kreme and they left.
Yeah.
The whole state. Gone. Interesting. All right. Well, I think we're close. We are close to getting to my sisters and hopefully seeing some of the fam. Johnny, that's funny. Natalie's my morning news, not Good Morning America, but I watch Good Morning Xenu with Natalie. I love that. John, is that what happened to Krispy Kreme? Oversaturated? I can see that. Oh, yeah. Love Maddie. I think it's because of the earbuds. You know what? I wonder, you guys tell me this. Can you just hear us both better without the earbuds? I'm going to take them off. And now it's just the speaker on the phone. Babe, you talk.
Hello. Testing 1, 2. Aka beside.
Does that sound better? Kinda. We hear parts. Okay.
We're almost there.
Well, that's not necessarily better. I'll put the earbuds back on. Although it'll probably connect to the wrong thing. But yeah, we're almost there. The only difference is that we can hear the road a little more, but you're both pretty clear. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll look for that email about Queen. No better with yours? Okay. Yeah, we're almost there. Anyways, we got about another. Once we get to my sisters, we still got another 50 minutes to go. After that, we got to make room in the car for Odin. We have a 100-pound giant schnauzer.
And a car that fits about 100-pound giant schnauzer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I had the earbud in, I had to switch earbuds because one died, but we're almost there, so we will probably be signing off, but I would love it. Hey, look, 202 people in the chat. That's our lucky number.
Yeah, cool.
Which means it is time.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for making this go faster for us, for joining us on the protesting and everything. We appreciate it.
Thanks for supporting ending Scientology and all abuses. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Time, I'll do a recap. We're going to Snelling. Jump back on, well, I don't know. I forget that it's already later in the day. I forget we've been in the car all day. The time has gone by. We'll probably be heading to shower in bed shortly after we get home. Of course, now all I can do is think about donuts. Okay, everybody. Hey, Free Xenu Project, hello to you. Sending hugs. It is better than normal TV nowadays, Joe. I think so, too. I'm hardly watching anything. outside of SPTV.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't watched normal TV for a while, probably for a couple years.
Tony B, no talk Tony, I want donuts too. Yeah, it is really interesting how it really has gotten, it's educational and entertaining. All right, everybody, hit the like button on your way out. Check your subscribe button. I absolutely appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
We love all of your support. Go have an awesome